Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, August 15th, day 31. It is the afternoon. It is like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Big Brother time. But the show is coming up shortly, and I'm going to try to get this recorded and posted so it's at least available to some of you before you actually watch the show. So what exactly is going on? Well, we have a live eviction, and since the last time I talked to you, and actually in the last hour or so, it's now been confirmed by CBS that tonight is an endurance competition. So there is some kind of endurance going on. The house guests seem to think it's going to be a wall. One of the accounts that, the only account that I know of that has an affiliation that I believe with the show, posted a picture on Monday, or an emoji on Monday, of someone climbing a cliff. So that is about as close as you can get to being on a wall, right? Or maybe some kind of hanging thing, or some kind of reach and hang on. I don't know, but it certainly seems like that might be what's involved. So bear that in mind. So what does that mean? Let's take this apart once we talk about who's going to go. So the flipping and flopping that I talked about this morning after the overnight did not stop. It does seem like Takor and Chemo may indeed vote out either Cedric or MJ and keep Rubina. Rubina may be staying in the house no matter what. It may have kind of twisted, and it may be that Rubina is the one guaranteed to stay in the house. I'm not 100% sure. I just don't know for sure. But it's possible that Cedric may be walking out the door, whereas I thought I would have told you, yesterday, I did tell you yesterday that I thought Cedric was safe. So that's kind of an interesting twist here. That will be should be a blindside to some of the house if they manage to pull that off. Chemo seemed very full of himself this afternoon, very fed up with everything. I had partially forgotten that Quinn told Chemo and Takor about the Pentagon Alliance. So they were aware that existed, and so they weren't quite as in the dark as I was thinking they were when I had forgotten that part. But we'll see what happens, right? It'll be interesting. They will stagger the vote appropriately, so we won't know for sure. But the key votes are Joseph, Chemo, and Takor. Joseph could go either way. It's possible that they won't get Joseph to change the vote. Takor and Chemo, though, would be your tells. So if Takor and Chemo vote, they may be voting last. That's very possible. If I was them, I would put them in last so that, America, we don't know. But of course, if you're in the house, think about that. If you're in the house and they're the last two to go in, if you think about it, you'd think, oh, they were the scale tippers, right? We'll have to see how the vote goes. But anyways, once the voting is over, whoever leaves, whether it's, at this point, let's say it's Rubina or let's say it's Cedric or MJ. Whomever leaves, it sounds like, MJ or Cedric. So let's say Rubina stays. And let's say it is the wall. All right, so if it's the wall, remember your physics. Remember, if you ever took physics, but remember how this works. The wall, you lean out over. Your body is going out over. Your center of gravity is in an awkward, weird position, and you have to hold on. So tall people, they're going to have the biggest difficulty because they have a higher center of gravity. They used to let them kind of crouch stuff, and people would get low. James, I'm going to say the term because it's what he called, it's what everybody talked about. He called it Asian James. But James, who's from Texas, who had a little bit of law enforcement background. If you remember him, short, beard, spoiled a lot of things. The one who started the part of holding the door open, it was him. James ruined a lot of fun on Big Brother. James won. I think they did 2 walls his season, right? And he won them because James has a low center of gravity. He's very short. So who's very short on this season? Oh, I know, Rubina. Rubina is in decent physical shape, and she has an extremely low center of gravity because she's extremely short, less than 5 feet tall. So it might be beneficial to her. This might be a comp that she stands a chance at. Now, everyone keeps saying it's going to be Tucker, but think about that. What if it comes down to Tucker and Rubina? It comes down to Tucker and Rubina. I think Tucker would throw it to her if he was smart and say, I'll get the next one. Let Rubina have it, because this will be maybe the only comp that Rubina can win of this kind. So we'll have to see if it is the wall. If it's the wall, man, I think Tucker might win it just because he's just, lean, mean, fighting machine, bit crazy. But I could see Rubina doing really well if she puts her mind to it, if her heart's in it. And I don't know if her heart's in it or not. But if she is, this is where the intensity and the true players will come out. Now, there's going to be those players that feel safe and don't think it matters where they go, and they may drop out early. But there's going to be other players who are like, I got to fight for my life. And we'll see where some of these players fall. Maybe Rubina will be like, you know what? Everybody that's left I'm safe with, so I'm going to drop out. I don't think Tucker will go unless Tucker slips or has major problems, I think Tucker will stay with it till the bitter end. And if I were Rubina, I'd be getting the win if she has the ability. So we'll see. That's the major news for today, guys. I could talk in circles some more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to spare you. Get settled down for the night. Remember, the feeds you pay for the feeds on Paramount Plus, but they are free to everyone and anyone on Pluto TV. Now, you do have to deal with commercials. As someone pointed out to me, though, so the way it works is on Pluto TV, or on just the feeds in general, Camera 1 and Camera 2, there are 4 cameras and a quad camera that's all 4 cameras. But Camera 1 and Camera 2 are usually different camera angles of the same thing. Camera 3 and Camera 4 are also different camera angles of another same thing. Sometimes all 4 of them are on the same room. Sometimes 2 are on one room and 2 are on another room. During a game like this, during this thing, at least at the beginning, they're all in the same room, but they'll put the 4 cameras on different things. But they still, I guess, that's from what I've told, I haven't checked it out for myself, and maybe I will tonight. Camera 1 and 2 and Camera 3 and 4 are synced up as far as commercials go. So if you're watching Camera 1 and a commercial comes on, apparently if you jump over to Camera 3, you may not have a commercial. So you can manage to see, can jump back and forth and skip the commercials. That's what somebody told me. I have not tested the theory, and I won't have time to test it, before tonight's show. So you might try that if you want to try to go watch it live without interruptions. Have 2 channels up, or you could probably, if you really want to be devious, I'm not sure how Pluto TV is about watching multiple shows. Maybe you can only watch one thing at a time, but that's probably a per browser thing. So you probably can have Firefox open to Pluto TV on one browser and have like Firefox, and then you can have your Chrome fired up and open it up to the other channel, to channel 3 or 4 on a different browser. That might be doable. And I realize a lot of you do not have computers, but that's not my fault. You should have a computer. If you want to be a true hardcore Big Brother fan kind of viewer, you should have a computer, because the tablets just don't compare to computers as far as what you can do. To be able, you can have all 4 cameras open, I think, on a computer, individual cameras. You don't have to have them all, one camera. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's it, guys. As I said a few minutes ago when I said I think that's it, I still think that's it, and I'm going to sign off. Have a good evening. I may do an update later tonight. We'll see. But, I'm going to update in the morning. So, you know what? I don't know. Don't expect to hear from me. It'll be a pleasant surprise if you do, I suppose, for some of you. But I'm probably not going to do another one tonight. I'll be worn out. We'll see how long it is. Maybe it's going to be pressure cooker. Pressure cooker was last week in Big Brother 25, so they had already done pressure cooker by now. So we'll see what this event actually is. If it's pressure cooker, or if it's the wall. I'm still leaning wall. I know some people are like Dingo is convinced that the house guests usually complain about the amount of noise that's going in the backyard whenever they do the wall, but I don't know. I'm just they closed that backyard down awful early to not be doing something fairly massive in the backyard, and who knows, maybe they'd come up with a different way to build it this year that isn't as noisy or something. That's a possibility. Maybe they're bringing it in pieces that it's just easy to assemble and they can do it more quietly. I don't know. Maybe they put things across the door that are great sound reducers that they didn't used to have. We'll see. I'll shut up now and talk to you guys later tonight, but more likely tomorrow morning. All right? Be well. See ya. Bye-bye.